Was that the? That's not the intro. I started the intro, but the stream is still saying offline. Okay. Yeah, you go ahead. You can go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rich Perez welcoming you back into another dose of the rundown. Joined in with me, as always, my co-host. He's not at the U. He is in North Carolina covering the ACC men's hoops tournament right now. Kayson Davis, how you doing, Kay?
I'm doing very good, guys. Sorry, we got some audio issues, some stream issues. Like you said, I'm not home. I'm in North Carolina covering the game. So Miami got the win today, though. So we back again tomorrow.
Hurricane's getting to work, man. Hurricane's getting to work. Again, sorry for the lag and everything. Sorry for taking so long. Usually 8 o'clock start, but we had some things we had to get through. But we're here. We are here. And you see the topic of the day, Blake Griffin signing with the Brooklyn Nets. And that ain't the only thing the Brooklyn Nets are doing. There's rumors. Hey, man, this didn't come from Shams Charania or Adrian Wojnarowski. This came from uh, a wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, Allen Robinson, that Andre Drummond is going, according to his sources, is going to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. Number one, the Nets are stacked. Like, this is just crazy to me. Somebody said something when Blake signed with the Nets earlier, like, oh, is he? They're not getting Lob City Blake. They're not getting, Lob City Blake as far as like the dunking goes and everything. But I would argue with you that he's low key a better player now than he was in Lob City. When he was with the Clippers, he was really your prototypical four. Get him the ball, he's gonna take it up the rack, and he's gonna dunk on you. Slam on you all day. He's really evolved his game over the last few years into a guy that can knock down perimeter shots if need be. And he's also a four that can distribute the ball for you. So, I think if Blake Griffin is averaging about anywhere from 14 to 16 a game on his team because he's not going to be a first option, that's a really good piece for them to have. Number one, I just mentioned the skill set that he's kind of developed over the years to go along with it. And the reason we haven't really talked about Blake Griffin too much is because he's been in a very bad situation over in Detroit.
Yeah, I think someone said it. Detroit is kind of like the Siberia for NBA basketball now. You kind of see, I guess Derrick Rose able to play well over there, but nothing really good has been kind of going over there in Detroit. So I think a lot of people expected kind of when he gets out of Detroit, gets in the new scenery, especially somewhere like the Nets, where he's not gonna be asked to do too much. That he should be able. He's gonna be. It's gonna be like he was maybe playing dead just to get out of Detroit. Because you think about Detroit has some talent, like I just said, Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, Drummond, all good pieces that people, when they get traded or got released, people will feel like they can do something. But it's just for some reason why Detroit just hasn't been the place for basketball right now. So Detroit needs to get it together, and those guys kind of need to get out of there. So everything about Detroit right now just screams rebuild and maybe start from the top down.
Yeah, and I want to give you props too, man, because you were saying when the initial reports were coming out that the Cavs were going to look to move on from Andre Drummond, you were the first one talking about how the Nets need to jump all over that, and now, according to an NFL player, he's headed over to Brooklyn.
Yeah, definitely. But that was before they got Blake Griffin. Now they got Blake Griffin. It's kind of like they're maybe stacking the deck over there. I thought maybe Drummond should try to, now that Blake Griffin's over there, he should maybe try to go somewhere where he might get some more minutes. I don't know if you've seen, but he's not a rookie now, I think he's a sophomore, but Clarkson, who the Nets drafted a few years ago, he's been playing well too. So obviously Drummond will probably get the minutes over him. But with Blake Griffin there, and I'm probably trying to play a lot of small ball, and then DeAndre Jordan still being the starter, it just seems like maybe Drummond can go somewhere else right now and get maybe some more minutes, maybe be a starter, or go somewhere else where he just maybe get some more minutes on the Nets. Obviously, they're most likely gonna win right now. They're probably the heavy favorite, but he's gonna take maybe he's gonna take a big hit, maybe numbers wise, which I guess that's what it's about, kind of just being unselfish to win a championship and things like that. But I think there's other places he can go and still have maybe a bigger impact that might need him more, and they still can probably win a championship.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely agree with all of that. But I mean, if it's true that he's going to head over to Brooklyn, like the depth is going to be very serious for them in the front court. And you got a lot of options there. You could have Blake be your small ball center. The kind of that death lineup, like what the Warriors were doing. Just talked about how he's able to distribute the ball. The last like 2 years, I never really looked at DeAndre Jordan as a starter. I think his skill set has kind of diminished over the years. But I mean, in a bench role, I think he's a good guy, even though that's not what the role he has right now. But I think, having Blake Griffin, and then possibly Andre Drummond is going to be pretty big, here moving forward for Brooklyn.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, Brooklyn's kind of stacking the decks right now, so it's gonna definitely put a target on their back, and they have the talent now, so it's no excuse. It's kind of like they got to go out there and get it done now.
Yeah, and as a wise man once said, when the facts change, so do my opinion. I've been saying Philly could be the team that, don't sleep on them. They definitely could go 7 with the Nets and take them out of the playoffs. I don't know about all that anymore, man. I don't know. I don't know if they got the horsepower to really mess with what's going on in Brooklyn right now. I think Brooklyn is large favorites to head to the NBA Finals. I've seen a lot of people talking about how oh, they need all this just to beat LeBron. Listen, man, I don't even know if the Lakers are going to the NBA Finals this year. No Anthony Davis. They don't look as good as they did a year ago. Partly due to the fact that they have no AD. Whether he comes back or not, I think the fact that LeBron has had to do a lot more with him gone is going to hurt them down the stretch. I mean, you got a team like Utah that's been playing well. LeBron's over here pushing people's buttons, just motivating them even more. Then you got the Clippers looking for revenge. I mean, there's some teams out here in the West that might knock the Lakers off. We don't even know if the Lakers are going to finish first in the conference anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers is everything with them is up in the air until they kind of figure out what's going on with AD. Once they figure out what's going on with AD, if AD's healthy, you figure they'll be able to get everything together and they'll be fine. But with the question for AD being up in the air right now is like I don't think anyone kind of take them to get to the final. So really, the main thing is get AD healthy and at least by playoff time and figure everything else out. So they're up in the air.
Most def, most def. Shout out to UK, man. I didn't know you was coming on with a suit today, bro. I would have had the get up a little different had I known you was gonna be this swaggy on the show today, man.
Yeah, well, I literally just left the tournament before we jumped on this live. That's why we're a little late right now. So I had to go to the tournament real fast, looking nice. You never know who might be there.
Nah, you stunting on him, man. Like he got the fresh cut going, like wave check. He knew exactly what you knew exactly what you was doing before we got on camera.
Try to convince someone to give me a job. That's all, man.
I understand that. I'm in the same boat as you, brother. Uh, you know, let's a lot of things have been happening, man. So let's stick to the NBA before we move on to the other big news that's happened this week because we didn't do a recap show for you guys last week because we were on for like a whole hour with Matt and shout out to Matt. It was great having him on talking Q's basketball. But the Atlanta Hawks fired Lloyd Pierce, their head coach the last couple of years. I thought Lloyd Pierce wasn't doing a terrible job there. I was a little shocked to find out that he got fired. And then more news came out that a lot of these players wanted him out.
That's interesting because I was actually gonna bring it up. Actually, I think it was brought up in the comments, but I was gonna bring it up too about have the Hawks been having a disappointing season with all the people that they signed during the offseason? We figured they'll be a better team this year. They should be in the playoff hunt. And right now, even with 10 teams getting in, they're not in the playoff hunt. So I figured that they were having a disappointing season. I didn't know that they were going to fire their coach. But if you think about it, I think Mike Woodson take his job? I think now Mike Woodson has the position.
No, not Mike Woodson. The
Oh,
coach. He used to be coach for the Pacers.
yeah. I'm getting him. Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan has a job now, and like you just brought up with the Pacers, you saw he was able to do it with the Pacers. So it might have been time to switch, but the fact that people wanted him out of there is kind of interesting. So maybe there was some things going on that we didn't know about, but it was maybe a little disappointing season for him so far.
Yeah, yeah, most def, man. But you coaching changes sometimes. it gets a surge under the players and everything. They get like a new you know, new life or second wind or something like that whenever a new coach comes in and, midway or, whenever there's a coaching change in season. So maybe the Hawks got something going for him there. Got a lot of young talent. So definitely got to see where he just keeps stunting on him, man. He's got the gold watch on. Like, what's going on here? Uh, but yeah, man, we'll see what goes on with the Atlanta Hawks. Dak Prescott got paid, man. Did you see that?
I definitely did see it when it first came out. I saw it from like a Twitter account that I didn't know was like valid, so I had to wait and go search it up. But I did end up seeing it. Yeah.
126 million guaranteed. That's the most guaranteed money up front in NFL history. He gets a 4-year deal, and it's kind of like, who really won. I heard Adam Schefter talking about it this morning. ESPN's own Adam Schefter. And he kind of made a lot of sense. Both sides can kind of say they got what they wanted. For the Cowboys, they wanted to give him a 4-year deal. He didn't want to budge. He wanted a 5-year deal. For Dak, he gets a 4-year deal. The Cowboys wanted to give Dak a 5-year deal. Dak wanted a 4-year deal. 5-year deal, more long term and everything. Dak wanted a little less on the contract as far as how long the contract is, because he wanted to come around for that next cycle when more money is going to be around with the salary cap. So both sides can kind of say they won. In Dallas technically did get him for 5 years. He played last year on the franchise tag, and now signed a 4-year contract. Dak can say, I got my 4-year contract. So it is what it is. Happy for Dak Prescott. Always like to see someone get their just due, because he has earned the money that they're paying him. I will say this though, I think Dak Prescott is a good player. But the rumors that were coming out was he wanted to be paid like he was a great player. A lot of talk about him trying to be around that Patrick Mahomes tax bracket, and no disrespect, but I don't think you like that. And it is what it is. Dak Prescott's going to be here long term. He makes the Cowboys better. Still no Super Bowl coming over there though.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you said, both sides win. I think Zach Prescott definitely wins because I see him and the players win because you talk about that guaranteed money. That's something that I feel like NFL players should have been getting for a while now. You see, like in all the other sports, kind of get a guaranteed contract for the NFL and their players who kind of put their body on the line a lot. I think they should be getting that guaranteed contract. So I think other players, the quarterback see kind of the guarantee money that he got, and they might be able to come to the negotiation table and start getting more guaranteed money. So I definitely say the players won in a sense, hopefully. But yeah, like you said, both sides kind of wins. Zach gets what he wants. The Cowboys get what they want, and it's just I think a lot of people are happy to finally see it get it done. It's been a while with all these rumors about not getting it done, who didn't want to be there, all those type of things, and just the back and forth with everything that was going on. So I think everyone's just want to breathe a sigh of relief. Like finally, it's got done. It's well deserved, obviously, and they can kind of everyone can just move on from here. But like you said, all sides win, and I think the players hopefully get the win in the end.
Yeah, man. Most def. So we'll see how things go. In the NFC East, no team has ever repeated as NFC East champs. So since the Washington football team won it last year, it's fair game for the Giants and the Cowboys and the Eagles to win this thing next year. So like we said, Dak Prescott makes them a whole different team. So it's showtime now.
And he'll be back and he'll be motivated. He got his contract. He's coming off an injury, so I think he'll be motivated. But you know how the Cowboys do, so anything can happen with those guys.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Let's get back to the NBA, because the All-Star weekend did take place. Oh, it wasn't really a weekend. It was more like All-Star Sunday. Steph Curry really lit it up in the 3-point contest. He killed it, and there's not really you can say about that. Greatest shooter of all time in a lot of people's eyes. So kudos to him. Team LeBron versus Team KD. Team LeBron really showed out. I think we got to talk about, and I'm really bringing it up because I see Nika Wildator. I really hope I'm saying your last name right. Giannis didn't miss a shot this weekend. Does that make him MVP? It does not make him MVP, but something should still be said about the fact that he went 16 to 16 from the field in that All-Star game. That's never happened before, and that is just crazy.
Yeah, but the team KD wasn't really playing no defense out there, so he's dunking the ball half of the time. I mean, he did take a couple 3-pointers, one banked off the backboard, so it might have just been his night. So to answer
He
that,
called glass, K.
he must have he's seen it. He must have seen it coming. You know what they say. Even the trash can gets a steak every now and then. So yeah, Team KD wasn't really playing no defense, and that kind of what sucks about the All Star game now. I know they've been trying to make the changes to make it more competitive, but these guys just don't want to play really. And I think that obviously, if a player gets by you, then let him go because it's an All Star game. Let him dunk. But I think they can still go out there and compete and make it like an All Star game. For example, someone else just brought up Kyrie. Kyrie gets more. I've seen Kyrie get more highlight crossover plays in a normal game than in an All Star game because people just aren't out there really guarding each other. So like someone like Kyrie can't really go put on the show because he does one dribble and people get by him. So I think they can kind of go out there and maybe try a little harder, play a little defense. I guess nobody wants to get crossed up, but it is what it is. It's an All Star game. But no, that does not make Giannis the MVP. I think Steph should have got it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I kind of like. Do you remember when they first, put out the new format? What was that? 2 years ago now. Like that was an exciting game. That was fun. And even last year, like the end of that game was real fun because you saw them really turn up. Like those are good. I think what kind of ruined the product of the All Star game this year was the fact that it's supposed to be All Star weekend. It's specifically a fan event. With the pandemic going on, there's really no fans in the building. We know for a fact that the players didn't want to be there. They did. This is not something that they wanted to do. So it was kind of just it was kind of a waste of time a little bit. Like I think the NBA really should have just punted on this and said it's different circumstances. We'll be back next year. So I think that was really the problem.
Yeah, definitely. And you see like what everyone was doing off the court, not obviously not the players because they wasn't allowed to do anything, but just the the world's not back to normal, and people are out there partying in Atlanta, and Atlanta's been open kind of this whole time, so it's like it wasn't maybe the best place to have it. I think they were supposed to have it in Indiana. I figured they should have just stayed in Indiana. Excuse me. Going to Atlanta just causes people to party and things like that. So we could have an uptick because of them. And like you said, the game kind of just wasn't worth it. So nothing kind of seems like it was worth it. But they lost a lot of money last year due to COVID, so they're still trying to make up for that.
Right on, right on. So let's get to some of these questions here, man. Should
There's a
Lil
lot of
Baby
them.
stick? Yeah, I know. Should Lil Baby stick to rapping? This is from the celebrity game. Yes. And I saw the other question about can Chris Brown beat Quavo in a pickup game? Chris Brown's nice, man. He can hoop, but I think I might still take Quavo in that one.
Uh, yes, from what we've seen from Lil Baby, he needs to stick to rapping. Basketball, it doesn't look like he played it at any level.
Not his forte.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's all right. I don't know how he ended up out there, but that definitely wasn't it. But yeah, he should definitely stick to rapping. As far as Chris Brown, I'm not that convinced with how nice Quavo is. I know he had 17 and 14, but like he had little baby guarding him half the time. Uh, 2 Chainz is kind of slow now. He's getting up there in age, but 2 Chainz can hoop. He got a nice jump shot. So shout out to 2 Chainz. I'm not too convinced on Quavo. I feel like yeah, maybe he's a little hyped. So I'm going with Chris Brown. I think I like what I've seen from Chris Brown.
I mean, he's got the size. He's got the size over him, so there's that. But I mean, Quavo's been showing out every celebrity All Star game though. He Duke a hoop, man. I seen him in some other pickup games too. He definitely can show out.
He's all right. He's definitely like he knows he plays basketball. He's not a little baby. He plays like you can tell he plays basketball a little bit. But I feel like the hype around him just isn't. He's not as nice as the hype gets him. So that's my only thing, maybe.
Right, right. Is it championship or bust for the Nets now? Yes. especially if they end up signing Andre Drummond. Like, you got all this firepower, you better make the NBA finals and you better win a championship. Like, you guys, we already thought they were really good the way, Harden, KD, and Kyrie were playing together. Now you're adding more to your front court. Like, absolutely is championship or bust. You can't make moves like this and not, and there's expectations now. Like, yeah, 100% championship or bust.
I'm saying yes, but the only reason why I'm saying yes is because I felt this way before they made all these moves. So I thought it was championship, or at least thought it was finals or bust for them. There's no reason why they shouldn't have been in the finals. So now that they made these moves, it's definitely championship or bust. I thought it was that before, kind of. So because I could have seen them losing to the Lakers, but it was definitely finals or bust. So now with these moves, it's definitely championship or bust. And I've been feeling this way since the start.
Mm-hmm. All stuff. Does Miles Turner make LeBron better? You got that one. I'll give that one to you.
Does he? I think the question is more: does he help the Lakers? Yeah, I think he can help the Lakers. He I don't know if he's leading. I don't think he's leading the league in shot blocking this year, but he led the league in shot blocking a couple years, or at least there's been
I,
times.
I missed. I missed. It was. Does he help LeBron? I'm sorry. Apologize for that.
Yeah, I think he's saying like, does he help? Like, obviously, like help the Lakers. I don't think he means like make LeBron a better player, but I think he means like, does he help the Lakers? So yeah, I think he does help the Lakers. They can get him just defensively. The things that he kind of brings a little bit of what AD brought. He also can stretch the floor. Obviously, he's not AD, but if Miles Turner can get over to LA, I think he definitely helps him.
For sure, for sure. I think they're LA should hope that they could somehow land Andre Drummond should he be bought out by the Cavs. That's definitely a move that they need more than the Nets do right now. But yeah. Are the Heat back after the Jazz win? The Heat been back, Nika. Come on.
He's a Heat fan. I don't know what their record is. I think they're moving back up. They've been playing well kind of since Jimmy Butler got healthy. I think that
K
Jazz one.
Nunn is back.
I think that Kendrick Nunn has been playing a lot better. I think I forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, I think the Heat are back. They've been kind of on the winning streak a little bit. They moved back up in the standings. Oh, and Jimmy Butler got back, and I think since he's been playing healthy, that's kind of what they've been missing. Jimmy Butler's the best player. I think him coming back, Kendrick Nunn playing better. I think the Heat are going on the right path.
Yeah, man.
And it's the least in conference, so all you need to do is win 3 or 4 games, and you're right back in it.
Hey, look, it is the Eastern Conference, but Philadelphia, Brooklyn, the Miami Heat. I feel like I can throw like one other team in there. But those three teams for sure, they can go with anybody in the league. Just saying.
True. I think that's true, but it's still at least in conference. I don't care.
Mike E. Fresh wants us to talk about the Knicks.
Uh, what can we say about the Knicks? Right? I don't know. The Knicks are gonna be up and down. That's what the Knicks are gonna be. They're up and down. Julius Randle made the All Star game. Y'all should be celebrating for that. He went out there and played all right. But the Knicks are gonna be up and down. I guess they could try to make a couple moves here at this trade deadline. Maybe they should go after Drummond.
I think the Knicks should be sellers.
Selling
They
who?
don't see any reason for them to be buyers at the deadline. The Knicks should be sellers right now. Like, why do you want to give up a lot of the young talent that you have? Especially like, it's not like this is a big time deadline. Like, who are they gonna get that's gonna up their chances of competing for a title right now?
I don't think it'll be any crazy moves, but I think they can definitely get better. So I think they should low key be buyers at the deadline. I don't think they should be trying to sell off none of the pieces that they have. I think they have some solid pieces. They should just be trying to look into upgrade. Like I said, it's the least in conference. So at one point, not too long ago, they were in like the fourth seed. So
Yeah, but I mean, like, they sellers is in like, look who you like. If you're the Knicks, you can give up a Kevin Knox. He doesn't even play. Like, the only time you see Kevin Knox play is if they're being blown out or if they're blowing somebody else out. I mean, if Frank Ntilikina was somebody I was saying that maybe you would want to move, but he made his way back in the rotation and he's playing pretty well for them right now in the role that he's playing. Maybe you give up in Austin Rivers because of the way Ntilikina is playing. I think you're gonna have to give up one of those guards because they're pretty they're pretty heavy at the guard position right now with limited amount of minutes there. But I just don't see like who like they're playing very well. I don't see why you would want to disrupt that.
Yeah, but I guess we're saying the same thing as I'm saying. Like I would, we're saying the same thing in a sense because you're saying they should be sellers for the young players who don't play, but I feel like they should only be sellers if they're going to upgrade. So it's kind of the same thing if you're saying that. Like they should be sellers, but they should really be buyers because they're trying to sell off those pieces to upgrade in a
Can we
sense.
kill the Devin Booker rumors, please? Can like let's use some real logic here. Has anybody been watching the Phoenix Suns this season? The Phoenix Suns are top 3 in the West right now. Like they are playing like lights out. They legitimately could make the. I'm not picking them, but they legitimately could make the NBA Finals. Why would Devin Booker want to leave there right now?
Yeah, basically, I don't think they'll make the NBA finals, but they
Because that's not to play anybody in the chat like those that's a valid thing. I'm just because I remember I had heard somebody on the radio say like after Windhorse broke the news that's in the future sometime later down the road this year possibly a big time star is going to request a trade to New York. Like okay, that's fine. Like they're finally in place to get somebody to get somebody to want to come there, but what that's going to be a disgruntled star. Devin Booker isn't disgruntled right now. He's like one of the happiest players in the league. The way they're playing with the things they're doing in Phoenix, they got a good coach. They're a top 3 team in the West and got a legitimate chance shot to make the NBA Finals. Why would he request out of there right now? Makes zero sense.
Yeah, but I seen this. I seen the same question being asked on ESPN this week. I don't know why it's been being brought up, but I don't know. Like you said, Phoenix is doing well this year, so I don't see why he'll try to force his way out now. But I don't know if
It's
his
not a garbage market either.
I don't know if his contract is coming up or something, and just the way they've been, just
No,
the
he got paid. He's locked in.
yeah. But the question was on ESPN this week, so I don't know why it's been brought up. Maybe like you said, the Brian Windhorst thing, but they're going in the right direction right now. But I don't see why he'll try to get out of there now.
Yeah, that made no sense to me, man. Elijah Horton, my dude. Speaking of the Heat, Myers Leonard out of there after the Call of Duty outburst. Yeah, actually, I could read it off to you right now, man. Woj and Shams are doing some work right now. Statement from the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat vehemently condemned the use of any form of hate speech. The words used by Myers Leonard were wrong, and we will not tolerate hateful language from anyone associated with our franchise. To hear it from Miami Heat players, especially disappointing and hurtful to all those who work here, as well as the larger South Florida, Miami Heat, and NBA communities. Myers Leonard will be away from the team indefinitely. The Miami Heat will cooperate with the NBA while it conducts its investigation. Yeah, I mean, he already wasn't playing because he got hurt, and they're still doing well without him. I mean, one point last year he lost his spot in the rotation just because of how many guys they had over there. So it's not gonna. I mean, not to say he's not a bad player, but it, it's not like him not playing hurts Miami. Like they'll be fine without him, and then you go and do that. Yeah, Myers Leonard is probably not going to be a member of the Miami Heat moving forward.
Yeah, I seen. I think Kylie tweeted it, so shout out to Kylie. I think she tweeted that the owner's Jewish too, so I think everything's just all bad for Miles Leonard right now. And like you said, they don't necessarily need him, so like they'll probably get rid of him. But depends on maybe how much they like him and maybe how much he can fix this. But probably not because in things like this, you got to worry about the fans who feel offended and things like that. Teams don't want to lose no money, so he probably is out of there.
Terrible excuse by him too. He tried to say he didn't know like what he's like the meaning of what he really said. Like, all right, yeah, come on, man. I don't know about
Uh,
all that.
I don't blame him. Because there's a lot of words, especially because he was like playing the game. You know, when people get mad, you just scream out something. There's a lot of words that people probably don't know what it
You're a
really
public
means.
figure. You're a
Uh,
public figure. You got to
fair enough.
watch what you say, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I could see why it slipped out on him, especially on like a stream like that. obviously, like you said, he's a public figure, so he has to watch what he say, what he says, and things like that. But I could believe him a little bit that he kind of didn't know maybe what it really meant. But it could be just trying to get his image back.
For sure, for sure. How's it over there, okay? How's North Carolina been treating you? How's life covering the ACC tournament for the Hurricane?
I just got in here. I just got to North Carolina last night. I got up and went to the game today. There was 3 games today. Miami was able to come out with a win, so they're going to be playing Clemson tomorrow. Uh, but besides that, everything's been good, man. I tried the vlog. I tried to hit y'all with another vlog, but things kind of just haven't been working out. In the stadium, the music is kind of blasting, so I can't really record. I can kind of maybe record, but I can't like talk over it. But for my first day, it was all right. I ran into Brandon Marks, who was on the show, so shout out to Brandon too. Uh, they got uh, they got a whole bunch of food for you in the back. I mean, a whole bunch of snacks now, but they got a whole bunch of food for you in the back. I was basically courtside, so that's good. I missed the Duke game because I was in the back cover writing my paper, but Duke blew them out. So the ACC has been good for me so far. It wasn't too much media in there today, so I think tomorrow there's more games and a couple of bigger, better teams are going to be playing tomorrow. So I expect kind of more people to be there tomorrow. I didn't expect Miami to be in there tomorrow, so now I got to go back to work.
What's it been like covering the conference championships with COVID with the COVID situation going on?
More the same with everything else that's going on. You gotta wear your mask. Like I said, usually before they have like a buffet out for you. Now it's just a couple snacks, so it's like not really no food. I think they did serve some people dinner. Not 100% sure, but they got hand sanitizer out everywhere. Not like I saw Brandon today, and like we like didn't know if we should give each other a handshake or not. So it's kind of like maybe a quick fist bump. So it's still a couple of things like that where people aren't trying to get too close to each other, but things are slowly kind of getting back to normal. So I had a couple like security guards talk to me and stuff like that. Random note, but I had, as you guys been commenting on my attire, I had my little blazer on today. I ran into like Duke's assistant coach, and he was like, "Look at you looking all spiffy." So, so some people are are well mingle with you and stuff like that, but it's not people aren't trying to get too touchy and things like that. So it's kind of more of the same. Just wear your mask, and people are trying to slowly get back to normal.
Let's give a round of applause for Kayson's look again, man. Kayson knew what he was doing. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let Kayson fool you. He knew exactly what he was doing before he came on. He could have changed, got comfortable. He wanted to show out, and I applaud him for it, just like everybody else did. It's always nice to show out. I want to do it too one day. Shout out
Now,
to Kayson.
now, if I changed the stuff, we probably would have been an extra like 30 minutes or something late. I came here and rushed for you guys because I was already late. I came straight from the ACC tournament here. I was lucky eating right before we went live, so this is all for you guys.
Much love, man. Speaking of conference championships, we are done with with both weekends of the conference championships for collegiate wrestling, EIWAs, ACCs, the MAC championships, the SoCons, the Big Tens, the Big 12s. They are all finished. We got the at large bids that came out today. For wrestling fans, when the seeds come out tomorrow, you guys are going to be losing your minds. The committee definitely put an emphasis on wins and losses, with who they selected for the at-large bids. It's been a weird year. It's been a weird season. Guys are coming into postseasons with 4 wins as opposed to 20, 30 something, maybe even 40 something wins in a season. So a guy like Mason Paris, who, if you're thinking logically, would be a 2 seed at the NCAA's, with the way, the seeding matrix is going as far as quality wins and things like that go, he could be on the same side of the bracket at the NCAA championships as Gable Stevenson. So the final we all want to see could happen in the quarters or the semis. Same thing at 141 pounds. You would think in the Big Ten, those 3 guys are going to be your 1, 2, and 3 seeds. I expect Jaden Ironman, the Big Ten champ, to be the 1 seed there. Tariq Wilson, the ACC champ, to be the 2 seed. And then, the guys that have been ranked 1, 2, and 3 all year, Sebastian Rivera and Nick Lee are going to probably be on the same side of the bracket as Jaden Ironman. So it's going to be crazy. I mean, I just, again, using logic, I would think the ACC, one of those two guys, whether it was Latona or Jacob Camacho, whoever won that thing, was going to be the 2 seed. Latona won it. He's not going to be the 2 seed. He's going to be the 3 seed because Drew Hildebrandt has had, more quality wins, I guess, than him. But, it is what it is. It's a different type of year. But shout out to the Iowa Hawkeyes, Big Ten champs. Shout out to the Oklahoma Sooners and Oklahoma State's co-champs in the Big 12, the NC State Wolfpack, your ACC champions once again. Lehigh, down year, EIWA champs, Missouri Tigers, the MAC champions. Campbell winning another SoCon title. And, 2 weeks from now, we are ready to rock and roll at the NCAA championships. We got something, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Definitely. Who's your early favorite right now to win the NCAA tournament?
Team title?
Yeah, both. Give us
Gotta
both.
go,
Give us both.
gotta go with the Iowa Hawkeyes. I put an article out, I want to say last week, saying how Penn State can challenge them. I think what's hurting Penn State is, it doesn't look like that. Well, we know Bo Bartlett he needed to auto qualify. He didn't get an at-large bid. Doesn't look like Robbie Howard got one either at 125 pounds. So they're down 2 young studs right there. They got their 33 in, they got their 41 in, 57, 65, 74, 84, 97 in heavyweight, as opposed to Iowa, who's going to get all 10 guys in. And Iowa legitimately could have 10 All-Americans depending on how the brackets shake up. I think it just might be too much firepower. This is going to be their first championship in just about over a decade. I got to go with the Iowa Hawkeyes to win it all. Then, as far as individual champs, nobody's touching Spencer Lee at 125 pounds, 133 pounds. I think Dayton Fix is back, so I got to go with him, but I wouldn't sleep on a Roman Bravo Young. He should be your 2 seed there. But I will pick Dayton Fix to win that thing at 141 pounds. I'll be pulling for my man Tariq Wilson, but I think how things shake up, it's gonna be tough because these looking like these guys are gonna be on the same side. Shout out to the Wrestling Nomad too. He's been helping me out with picking up on all this stuff. But I'm gonna go with Nick Lee of Penn State to win it all at 141 pounds. Believe it or not, if he can meet up with Jaden Ironman, I'm guessing the way the seeds look, he might actually wrestle Sebastian Rivera in the quarters, and those two had that might be match. Their semis match at the Big Tens might be match of the year. But I'm gonna go with Nick Lee at 141. Sammy Sasso of Ohio State at 149 pounds, 157 pounds. Ryan Deacon, he's been a man on a mission this year. I like Hayden Hidley, but I think he's unfortunately just a little too one-dimensional. He's going to have to do more than, work that underhook for his offense. I like David Carr as well there, but Ryan Deacon just looks different. So I'll go with Deacon at 157 pounds, 165 pounds. The defending NCAA champion, I got to say that because last year the tournament got canceled. So the defending champ, who was the champ 2 years ago, Mekhi Lewis, he defaulted out. He might be an extremely low seed, which is ironic because that's what he was the year he won it. He could be dangerous from there if he's close to healthy. Alex Marinelli will be your number 1 seed, but if Mekhi Lewis is right, I think I'm gonna have to go with him too to kind of repeat history there. So I'll give Mekhi a shot there at 165, 174 pounds. I want to go with Caleb Young of Iowa. He really put it on Carter Starachi in the Big Ten finals, but I don't know, man. I think Carter Starachi, he seems like a guy that really that's learning from his losses. And even though he got beat up by Caleb Young in the finals, and he's had close matches with Caleb Romero of Ohio State, he had a really nice match with Labriola from Nebraska as well. I think I want to go with Carter. Call it that. That might be the hot take or whatever. I think I want to go with Carter Starachi of Penn State to win it all, 174 pounds. So if it happens, just remember who said it first. 184 pounds. I've been saying Aaron Brooks all year. I just like him better than the rest of the field there. Then 197. There's this true freshman. They call him Mr. Fast Twitch, AJ Ferrari from Oklahoma State. And there's a lot of good guys at 197. But I just like that kid a lot, man. I think he hasn't gotten his just due. People were talking, he was going to wrestle Tanner Sloan in the semis of the Big 12s. A lot of people were picking against him. I was one of the few that picked him. He ended up winning that and then winning the whole Big 12 tournament. I think that kid is going to show out. So that's another one. A lot of wrestling people might not agree with, but I'll take AJ Ferrari to 197, and then nobody is beating Gable Stevenson at heavyweight. So yeah, those are my picks.
Speaking of the NCAA tournament, Rich brought it up maybe a couple episodes ago. How we usually do the ESPN tournament bracket challenge. I want you guys to join us. I think I'll send out the link when the tournament does eventually come out, and the ESPN keeps track of. I think who has the higher winning percentage. So I think maybe me and Richard chop it up, and maybe we'll have a little gift for the winner. Maybe a little grand prize or something for whoever can maybe beat us in the tournament.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm all in on it this year. You seen number one Gonzaga's that was that was 21 minutes ago. I don't know now, but BYU was up on Gonzaga by 12.
Is that the champion? Are they at the
Yeah, that
championship?
was in the title game.
See how that turns out for them. Gonzaga doesn't play in that great of a conference. Like Gonzaga's low-key a team that can move out of that conference, and I think it's kind of time for them to move out of that conference. Obviously, every now and then anyone can go down, but like Gonzaga's just the class has been the class of that conference for decades now.
Yeah. How about Michigan, man? Big Ten champs, man. Can't say enough about the job Juwan Howard's doing over there.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was on Stephen A. show the other day. But yeah, definitely, he's been doing his thing. I think he was the coach for the Heat for a while, so he's going there
Yeah, assistant coach over there.
bringing that NBA experience over there. It's going to be. I think this is going to be his first NCAA tournament, though. And like I said, the tournament is weird because you just have to play one bad game and you're out. So anything can happen. It's March.
For sure, man. They got to bring the banners back, those Fab Five banners back, though. It's time.
They got to talk to Chris Webber, man.
Quit playing, Chris. I know you and Jalen don't like each other, but quit playing, man. It's for a better cause.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking through the comments to make sure we ain't missing any questions.
We
We
got
did,
one.
no, but I think we might have skipped over the one. Did we talk about are the Hawks having a disappointing season so far? We talked about them firing their
Yeah,
coach.
we brushed up on it a little bit when we talked about Lloyd Pierce. That's because you mentioned that was a comment in there when we brought up Lloyd Pierce getting fired.
All right, definitely. I would say it's been a little disappointing to start because they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Got another one here. Should Kobe be the new logo for the NBA? I was pushing back on it for a while, but I do think it's time for the NBA to change it up. Jerry West has been public that he is not comfortable being the logo anyway. It wasn't his choice to be the logo. Artist just kind of put him on there, and the rest is history. So yeah, I would like to see Kobe. God rest the dead. I would like to see Kobe on there. There's a couple guys, Michael Jordan. A few others as well, but Kobe, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, definitely. I think they can use a change. I'm kind of like you. I think I was pushing back on it for a little bit just because maybe of the nostalgia of it. But they could use a change now. It's been long enough. He had it for long enough, and there's been a lot of other great players that came after him that they can switch it to. Like you said, Jordan. I would go with Jordan, but I don't want to see that jump man sign as the NBA
Yeah, I'm
logo.
cool. I'm cool. Got the
So
shoes.
but yeah, I can see why, and I know Kyrie brought it up and kind of started the conversation again recently. But I can see why Kobe Bryant would be the guy just with all he did for the NBA on the court, off the court, and then just like you said with him passing, God bless the dead. So I can see Kobe Bryant, and like I said, it may be time. It's time for a change.
Most deaf, man. Any more questions? Pump them out. Otherwise, we are ready to get out of here, man. Unless K, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Uh, nah, I don't think so. I think that's about it. Kind of kept it short for you guys this week because we were maybe a couple hours late. But yeah, I'll be in North Carolina for the week. If you guys want to, I guess, keep up with what's going on out here in the ACC tournament, definitely follow me on Twitter. I'll definitely be tweeting about the Miami games. I'll probably tweet a little bit about Syracuse game tomorrow. But whatever games come after Miami, we have to figure that out because I'm gonna have to write the paper. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Most deaf, man. Thank you guys all who tuned in. Love it, love it. Kayson out here looking very spiffy. We love that too. But it is Rich. It is Kayson, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.